let's see. Apparently I did not send, oh, Karen Jones entered the waiting room. I'm admitting Karen right now. I think if I can figure out how to do this. So let's see more. All right, chat, let's see, participants. So let's see, participants. More. You guys have to really bear with me because enable waiting room. I mute all upon entry. Enable waiting room. Allow participants to what? Unmute themselves. All right, there we go. Maybe let's see. Maybe I actually have Karen is in here. Share screen. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, I don't know how to do that. Share sound. Okay, I don't know. I'm closing this. You guys have to really bear with grandma here. She's not, you know, I'm trying to learn how to do this, and Sherry means. So anyway, let me finish this story. And I'm coming out of the closet and saying, yes, c'est moi. Okay, and the Pope may not like it, the poop, as they call it, as I call him, and it's really disrespectful, but you know, hey, you guys better stop those, you know, all that ritual abuse. You know, I really don't like it when they say, hey, Jimmy, come in the back room with father. And you go in the back room and the door locks, and the next thing you know, you're in the middle of a satanic ritual. That's not good. That's not good. That's the Sanhedrin and the Romans, and, you know, the same ones who crucified my best friend, who was able to rise from the dead. Yay! And that's, I've outlined some of that in my, you guys better stop those, you know, okay, all that ritual abuse. Here we go. You know, I really don't like it when they say, hey, Jimmy. And you go in the back room and the door locks, and the next thing you know, you're in the middle of a satanic ritual. That's not good. That's not good. That's a Sanhedrin. All right, let's see here. Let's get back. Okay, so now we are on Zoom and YouTube. And let's see if I'm still speaking over here, if the volume's on. Okay, so you guys, I'm learning the studio. I've decided now that I have fake teeth. Okay, I'm going to show you something. This is really scary, but it's Halloween. So grandma had all of her teeth pulled because Medicare, they could have just I had gum disease, so it was black, but I'm going to show you, look how good I look with teeth. And here's me without teeth. Isn't that amazing? Suddenly, I mean, my whole face falls. But, happy Halloween. So now I've just outed myself to the whole world. How embarrassing. Yes, it's me. C'est moi, c'est moi. I'm forced to admit I'm far too noble to dump. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, yeah, okay. So I've come out of hiding. And I apologize in advance to Yeshua, because thanks to me, the entire deep state knows where you are. And he got pissed at me a few years ago. I went to see him. And I'll bet you there's $1 million bet on the table that he is who he is. And I am who I am. And we're not tap dancing. We're not doing miracles. We're not walking on water. We're just regular people, but we are who we are. So, yay! Heaven is here. Wow. Whoop-de-doo. Sorry to break it to you, Ken Jones and Jesse Watts and others of the Snake Society, which is really just a fancy name for men who like to suck each other's pee-pees. So let's go back to freedom of speech. Includes the right not to speak, specifically the right not to salute the flag. That's from West Virginia Board of Education versus Barnett, 319 US 624. That was from 1943. And again, this is from uscourts.gov. This is from the government, Ken Jones and Jesse Watts. So stop harassing me. Stop trying to scare and intimidate me. All right? I'm not taking your phone calls. You're scary, okay? Stop waving your guns at me. Stop listening, planting listening devices. Stop flying your little drones. Stop planting sharpshooters on the hillside, okay? Stop it. Everybody knows what you're doing. Stop it. Desperation 2.021 ends here. Get it? And let my husband go, Becky Knight. You evil bitch. Eve, who makes me ill. Anyway, that's my humor. It's a personal joke. Okay, so freedom of speech includes the right not to speak, specifically the right not to salute the flag, of students to wear black armbands to school to protest a war. Quote, students do not shed their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gate. That's from Tinker versus Des Moines, 393 US 503. That was a 1969 decision. And here, Jesse Watts and Ken Jones, freedom of speech includes the right to use certain offensive words and phrases to convey political messages. That is Cohen versus California, 403 US 15 from 1971. Because otherwise, we'd have crucifixions up and down the highways. Jesus would be hanging on a cross. It's called lynching these days. To all our friends in the KKK, when you lynch a person, you just crucified the Lord. Hate to break it to you, fucking white racists. And here's another news flash for you from Grandma Seava. I have no patience for supremacists, be they white, black, yellow, red, purple, green, polka dot. Let me show you something real quick here, so maybe you understand. Here, see this? This is a pocket calculator. It's pink. See that? This is my cup that says Mrs. It signifies Mrs. that I'm married to George Cecil Dane Wright II, whether you like it or not. This cup is white. Which of these colors is superior to the other? I'm waiting. Huh? It's stupid. You get a D for dumb. In my classroom right now, A stands for adultery. B stands for bullshit. C stands for caca. And D stands for dumb, which is what all of you Roman, Babylonian, priestly doctors. I'm so important. I have a degree. Yeah, you have a degree in assholeness. Oh God, are you serious? The Constitution protects her calling us assholes? It does. That's why Saturday Night Live is still on television, you more offs than on. Ding, ding, ding. the deep state. Every time I say something, and I know that I'm tapped because I get this little ding, ding, ding coming in. Ding, 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 ding. Emergency, emergency. The queen is off her rocker. You bet. I'm standing up. Excuse me, my Uzi. It's verbal. Okay, back to, let's see. Freedom of speech includes the right to use certain offensive words and phrases to convey political messages, to contribute money under certain circumstances to political campaigns, to advertise commercial products and professional services, to engage in symbolic speech, e.g., burning the flag in protest. What freedom of speech does not include the right, Jesse Watts? You're out of line. It doesn't include the right to rile people up against me, to incite actions that would harm others. Go get her. That bitch is talking shit about me. That does not, you don't have the right to do that. To make or distribute obscene materials. To burn draft cards as an anti-war protest. To permit students to print articles in a school newspaper over the objections of the school administration. Of students to make an obscene speech at a school-sponsored event. Of students to advocate illegal drug use at a school-sponsored event. But, to reiterate, among other cherished values, the First Amendment protects freedom of speech. And why is that? Because there was no freedom of speech in Jerusalem under Herod and Pontius Pilate. And because of that, our Lord was crucified. And again, thank goodness he rose from the dead, because he is such a good yogi and he held his energies and he was able to do the practice of the yoga of immortality, because he remembered that he truly is a child of good spirit, great spirit, of Father, Mother, Creator. And he was able to show the demonic governments of the world the true nature of what it is to be a child of Great Spirit. And there is no, the word God is not a proper word. He does not like the word God. He says there is no God. The word is good. Our Creator is good. Duality is male and female. Women, true women, are not made from the rib. We are not clones. We are not Stepford wives. We are equal and original daughters of Great Spirit. So this has been an off the rails grandma's Mary Poppins School of Journalism. Yes, I am, as the beatniks would say, as I hope people would say, wow, that's some crazy talk. So let's see what grandma's going to read today. A story. Let's read story time, because whoa, that was like so much truth telling. I need a break. Oh, this is dedicated to all of the mean women of Crescent Valley, Nevada, particularly to she who has been christened the bald man-stealing skank whore of Crescent Valley. And I have the freedom of speech to say that. I could even say her name, but I don't want to. She knows who she is. Pull your hair out some more, bitch. I am starting a therapy group for the victims of the man-stealing skank whores of Crescent Valley, because we seem to have a number of women in this town who seem to feel that it's okay to seduce married men. Why, we have one woman who seduced the husband of another woman who had like 8 kids, children, not baby goats. She lived across from the elementary school. She thought it was fine and dandy to steal and break up this family. I don't think so. No, it's not okay. It's called adultery. And in the old days, bitches, maybe I should call my Arab cousins. They are not putting up with this bullshit. Over there, they will take you outside the city gates and stone you to death, bitches. I think I'm going to call my Arab cousins. Say, hey, we got a town here in Nevada that needs cleaning up. The whores are out of control. The whores think they're running the ship. So, this is a story dedicated to all those bitches. Oh, and here's a funny news flash. I can be the living cup for Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and walk under the armpit of the white buffalo calf women and be in harmony with saints and sages of all religions, short of those who practice human and animal sacrifice. And I can curse, because I curse you. I do. It's not voodoo. It's called cursing. It's in the Bible. It's called laying a curse on evil people. It's what is done to evil. We curse evil. We light a candle. We tell the truth. It drives out the darkness. My job, from what I understand, besides activating the positive prophecies and helping to bring the golden age, the reign of peace. And reign refers to Renee, refers to queenness, not kingness. The reign of peace. Okay, I've just about used up all my hot air. So I'm going to close with a story. Once there was an old woman, cross and set in her ways. I know a lot of you ladies. Once there was an old woman, cross and set in her ways. Intolerance, greed, and narrow-mindedness and cold-heartedness of her own creation had so overcome her that breath itself, the living spirit of good, was almost entirely choked out of her. And she teetered on the brink of death, peering over the edge of a great abyss. And yet, the cross old woman called every day on the name of God. I actually wrote this story for a woman named Michaela, who was the niece of James Brown, when we lived with the Russian Orthodox in Kansas City, Missouri. And she was quite the terrible little bitch. Okay, so let's start again. Once there was an old woman, cross and set in her ways. Intolerance, greed, narrow-mindedness, and cold-heartedness of her own creation had so overcome her that breath itself, the living spirit of good, was almost entirely choked out of her, and she teetered on the brink of death, peering over the edge of a great abyss. And yet, The cross old woman called every day on the name of good. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Day in and day out, she hummed the little prayer. And unbeknownst to her, a mustard seed was growing in her that would uproot and overturn everything she thought she knew about herself. One day, a beggar woman and her child, a boy of 7 going on 8, came to the cross woman's door and rang the bell. The little boy rang 7 or 8 times because that was his age, and also because the bell made a lovely sound in the crisp, snowy air. Beautiful snowflakes danced before his eyes like a myriad of winged angels. Indeed, if the boy squinted his eyes, he could see a glowing light, which he knew was the throne of good, and the host of heaven surrounded the Lord, singing joyous praises. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts, they all sang. And the little boy sang with them. For in his 8 years, he had seen many beautiful sights, but none was so glorious and beautiful as the radiant presence of the Most High Good. And since it brought his little heart immeasurable pleasure to be in Good's presence, he had learned a way to always remember good. And so everywhere he went, there he was. And the little boy held his mother's hand. For she was crying great, glistening pearls of water that froze in the chill air and dropped to the snowy ground. Oh, why won't you open the door? The mother sobbed. We're freezing. But the cross old woman had looked out her 2nd-story window, and having seen the beggar woman and her son, had gone back to her knitting. That good-for-nothing woman ain't getting another bite of my bread, the cross old woman said aloud. And she went back to her prayer rope, i.e. her rosary. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. And her slippered feet tapped a rhythm as she rocked and prayed. She's not coming, Mama, the little boy said. She must, the beggar woman said. We've come all this way to bring her a gift. She thinks we want to eat her crusty old bread, the little boy said. Good have mercy on her hard old heart, the beggar woman sighed. Let's be on our way. And so the two shuffled down the street, the little boy singing as they went. Praise God, they're gone, the old woman thought. Then she went to her cupboard and took out a fresh baked loaf of bread, still warm and plump and juicy, with raisins, cinnamon, and apples. She cut herself a thick slice and slathered the bread with honey and butter. The bird landed on the windowsill and peered through the glass at her. Just a small, drab, gray-brown sparrow. He looked at her, and she glared. Little thief wants to steal my treat. And she waved her arm brusquely, so he soared away. Good riddance, you feathered pest. The little bird flew straight up into the sky through the golden gateway and revealed itself to be a radiant angel. Tears streaked the angel's glowing cheeks. I'm sorry, Lord. She would not receive the blessing. We know, the Lord smiled, and the angel felt somewhat relieved. Did I not tell them that many would call on my name and claim to cast out demons? And I would say to them, away from me, you evildoers. The angel began to cry. Can't we give her another chance? The Lord smiled. Continue to watch over her. There's always hope. The Lord slipped through the veil and knocked on the old woman's door. He waited patiently. I don't want any, don't need any, go away, she cried out. The Lord knocked again. I said, go away now, you beggar thief, or I'll call the constable. The Lord knocked again. Go on now, damn you, disturbing a sick old woman's peace late at night. Excuse me. Go on now, damn you. Disturbing a sick old woman's peace late at night. The Lord smiled, tipped his hat, and walked cheerfully down the street. No one knew quite how it happened. The old woman told everyone later that it was a miracle her house burned down and everything in it. And when she told the story around the campfire, wrapped in a tattered wool blanket, her dreadlocks shaking under a tie-dyed scarf, her eyes shone. Fools like me usually take a hard blow to wake up. Good sure had mercy on this old hag. And she'd pull a loaf of bread from under her huge patchwork skirt and laugh as the children clambered about her for a bite. Come on now, all you little birds. There's always more, always more. For the loaf given in love never ran out, and the old woman continued to hum under her breath. And together with the great multitude, she danced joyously beneath the stars. And that is a book that I was blessed to receive the story, the inspiration, and I sewed the cover, and I made the book, and I teach how to make handmade books. And when we, oh, here's something I didn't share yet. I'm from heaven, which means I took residence fully integrated with my human self into this body in 1993 at Angel Farm, New Mexico, when the girl that I was and am, born Lisa Jane Wolfe, in 1957 in New Rochelle, New York, the New Rock, having been conceived in Burlingame, California, so I'm bi-coastal pre-birth. I love this entire Turtle Island. My wings are spread across this holy land, this new Jerusalem, this sacred land, paradise that was guarded by the red people who ran around naked because they never had been cursed. And they lived a very, very long time before the coming of the pirates who stormed the gates of heaven. And truly, as the Lakotas say, the sacred Black Hills are the heart of Unchimaka. And from space, one can see the beating heart of our mother, Unchimaka. For this earth is alive. And I also was shown that I am here on behalf of she who was responsible with her husband, whom she liked to refer to as the sun god, Apollo. Also, she called him Cupid. Vesta, goddess of the hearth of the earth. So on behalf of Vesta, goddess of the earth, and the host of heaven, the Tonkashala, I say Ahoma Takoyase, which means to own my relations, which means not only the two-leggeds, and remember chickens are also two-leggeds, I say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I too fall short every day. I'm only 5 feet tall and I don't have eyes in the back of my head. And so I make mistakes. One of which was creating Lucifer. And so now, as the Lamb of good, it is my job to taketh away the sins of the world. The Lion of Judah, my counterpart, my chief, who sits at my right hand. This is very hard for me to do. You know, I've been Lois Lane for a very long time. I've been that woman for a very long time. My grandfather on my mother's side is a Gordon. And I'm taking off my mask. I am removing my veil, and you can see me. I still look the same. I always look the same. Those who are of my flock recognize my voice and my face. And here's another news flash. It is only those of the fallen ones, the demons, the evil ones of Eve, the clone, lizard, snake, who is not a woman, merely is black magic. And we are of miracles. And that is why the first white buffalo was named Miracle, because we count on miracles and we live by faith because we count on the invisibles who are as real as we are, but are just at a higher vibrational frequency. And so you can't see them. It's like you can't see a microwave. You can't see the television waves, even though it's all floating in the air. They're there, but you can't see them, the invisibles. So it's just a story. Is it real or Memorex? Well, it takes a lot of courage, I can tell you, for me to sit here and speak, because I have people like Jesse Watts and Ken Jones of Desperation, and a lot of the townspeople, like the cross old woman, who will just be chanting, she's crazy, she's crazy, she's crazy, she's crazy, she's crazy, she's crazy. And you know who's actually committing libel and slander? You are. Because I suffered immensely to get here. I was tortured. and came as close to being crucified as one can be. And it was about right before the quarantine when I realized that they were going ahead with their transhuman agenda and getting ready to chip everyone and turn everyone into Borgs. And I suddenly realized that I had been told before the Lord and I met in person in 1993 in Ashland, Oregon. And I had been told that he was coming and that the way I would know that we were going to activate the positive prophecies of the book of Revelations. Since I was here for Mary Magdalene, his girlfriend. To quote Cloris Leachman in Young Frankenstein, he was my boyfriend. So anyway, I was hearing that my boyfriend was coming back and we were going to activate the positive prophecies without anybody even knowing, just being us, that we were going to activate the marriage of the lion and the lamb. And the way that I would know that it was him is he was a Leo and I'm an Aries. So the Catholics have taught, no offense to the greatest alliance of the dark star ever conceived, the union of the tribe of Judas Iscariot, otherwise known as Jews, and the Romans, who are Greek royalty. And boy, do they love young boys. And can they make a metal penis that shoots metal sperm of death? Oh yeah, they can. I go through that. I expose that, I think, pretty well in my play, The Legacy of Laius, which will be performed here when our repertory theater company, One Shot Wonder Productions, begins live performances next summer at our first Newest Spirit Rising Film Music Art Festival and Fandango and Barter Fair and Gem and Mineral Show. And the theater festival will be taking place on our 8 acres on our Umblecha site outside of Crescent Valley. And we will be holding casting. It's a hard play to perform. I like to do it as readers' theater because, you know, the speeches are long and it's hard to remember. It's in blank verse, which means it rhymes. It's in iambic pentameter, which, thank you, Shakespeare goes da 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 da. But in any case, back to the point. It's Halloween. I've taken off my veil. I've revealed to a disbelieving, credulous world that we're here, we're back, we're activating the positive prophecies. We're reclaiming Earth. I haven't gotten a call from the Pope telling me that he wants to give me and Yeshua back all of our property that as vicar he's supposedly been holding for us all these years. Yeah, and I know he's listening. And I've told him before, and I'll say it again. We can do it the easy way or the hard way. My phone number is 775-304-4071. You can email me at whitebuffalonation@gmail.com. I would be happy for you to return all of the property that you've been holding in trust for the Holy Family. Because I have some dandy uses for all those big churches. We have a lot of homeless people all over the place. Sherry Means is in the waiting room. Oh my God. Sherry, are you going to behave if I let you in? Sherry Means is the daughter of Russell Means, and she is a friend. And Sherry, I'm going to let you in. Okay. Welcome. All right. Let's see if this works. Sherry Means is here. Honey wash day. Sherry. Let's see. Can you unmute yourself? Let's see. She's turned her camera off. Let's see. Asked to start video. All right. Sherry, I've asked you to start your video. I don't know if you can unmute. How are things in South Dakota? She's in her car. Look at that. I see you. Good morning. How is the daughter of one of the bravest men who ever walked Earth today? Can you unmute yourself? Do you know how to do it? I'm not seeing how to do it. Let's see. Let me see if I can unmute you. I think you have to do it. Huh. Let's see more. Let's see if I can unmute her. Sherry, I'm trying to see how to unmute you. Dang it. Sherry Means. Let's see. Asked to unmute. Look at that beautiful. She's talking, but I can't hear you. I see you talking, but I can't hear a word you say. She's talking. Look at her lips are moving. And one of the things about Sherry is she's not lying. I can't hear you. She's talking with sign language.
Well, I'm on my
smoke signal, Sherry. Oh, she's unmuted. There should be volume. Dang it. Where's your volume? Ugh. Why can't I hear you? Turn your volume up.
Now?
Dang it.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Sherry, I'm going to have to, this is
Hold on.
It's not working. I can't
All right.
hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
I can see you.
Hold on.
She's because pointing her finger at me. Are you yelling at me, Sherry? I see your car. Where are you? What is that? Oh, God dang it. Sherry, why can't we hear you? Why can't we hear you? Why? Why can't I hear you? I'm going to start crying. Okay, I'll listen. Maybe we'll just have to be telepathic. You just muted yourself again. There's something wrong with your volume. Seriously, there's something wrong with your volume. Oh, I'm unmuting you. Maybe that was it. It says mute all upon entry. Play, join, and leave sound. I don't know what the fuck that means. Enable the waiting room. I'm just trying to turn everything on. Play, join, and leave sound. What does that mean? I don't know. Can we hear you yet? No, you're still mute. Okay, so we're mastering technology. Can you hear me? Okay, Sherry, we're gonna fix this. All right. Yeah, the studio is harder than Blog Talk. So I don't know how to do it, girl. I don't know. She's like pointing her finger at me. She is a school teacher too. She's like yelling. She's going something. She's doing sign language. She's pointing. We're playing charades. Sherry and I are playing charades. There's 3 little bunny. I don't do sign language. I'm sorry. I'm not trained. Okay. I don't know. We'll have to translate later. Sherry, I'm sorry, girl. I don't know what the hell just happened. Okay. So obviously I have not mastered this studio at all. Sherry was our first volunteer. Wow. Let's see, maybe if I make her the co-host, it'll help. Yeah, make her the co-host. No, I think she left. Dang it. So that was Sherry Means. Oh, she's back. Sherry, can we hear you? I can't hear you yet. What? On YouTube. Oh, that's because I muted YouTube. Because it was like making noise here. You know, so I'm in the Zoom studio. That's why. But look at, she's nice earrings, Sherry. Okay. You can't hear me? Dang it. All right, let me try and do this, but let me go over to Zoom. Shit. All right, well, we're going to even, Sherry, I'm going to close this episode and we're going to try this again. What happened is I mute the YouTube because it's like if YouTube is playing the sound at the same time as my Zoom studio, then it sounds like I have an echo. So now I can't hear you. Okay, so let me see, let's go into the chat. Okay, that is because I don't know what I'm doing. That is because I don't know how to run the Zoom and YouTube sound at the same time, and I muted YouTube so I didn't hear it while I'm broadcasting. Back to the drawing board. Okay, so we are going to close this episode. I'm going to close this episode and I'm going to restart. Thank you. It's a miracle. Sherry Means is here, and we're going to figure out how to do this because I want to hear from Sherry. Okay, Doksha, I'm going to come back. All right. This has been Seava, Grandma Seava, and Grandma Sherry is here, and we're going to come back when we figure out how to do this. Thank you for letting me know I haven't mastered this yet. Okay, see you in a minute.